Hope you're doing good. Micah back with another video. Back here to talk about my minimalist setup that I have on my Galaxy Z Fold 6. You guys have seen many setup videos on this channel pertaining to how I have my device set up and how you can actually set it up, which includes widgets and the whole 9 yards. This video is going to be slightly different because this involves really why I simplified my look, where are my apps at, why do I have it set up this way, and some of my modes and routines that I have set up to automate some of my daily activities or specific activities when I'm in specific locations. So that way I'm more hands off and my phone can actually run these successfully behind the scenes without my help. And so that's what we're going to get into this video. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys ignite the like button, subscribe to the channel, especially if you're a returning viewer. That's going to definitely help the both of us out because that way you don't have to worry about always waiting for me to pop up in your home section. I'm right there in your subscription box, and if you hit that notification bell, you always get alerted when my videos drop. Just make sure you have all selected for notifications. And for my already returning subscribers, shout out to y'all for the constant support and love. I definitely appreciate it. Now let's get into the video. And really the only thing I changed was my home screen layout. If we actually hit my lock screen, my lock screen hasn't changed. I changed the wallpaper, but nothing else really has changed. Now my wallpaper, what I use for that, so let's just do this. Go to wallpapers. If I wanted to change this, I would select wallpapers up here, and then once it opens up, because it's supposed to, I use the photo ambient wallpaper. The reason why I use photo ambient wallpaper is because it allows the weather app to influence the wallpaper, meaning if it's bright and sunny, it's going to light up the picture a little bit. If it's darker or it's nighttime, it's going to dim it a little bit. And then the weather conditions such as snow, rain, sleet, hail, this, that, and the third will actually populate and have a live wallpaper-like effect on the wallpaper. Now, keep in mind, you're going to have more of a realistic wallpaper because I think the wallpaper I'm using right now actually isn't doing that great of a job with the ambient abilities. Then I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom where more of my realistic kind of wallpapers I have. And I'm going to select one of these because these will work a whole lot better. And so I think I'm going to select this one right here. I'm going to use this one as my wallpaper. Now, in terms of the blue, I mean, it's cool, but ultimately I may have to actually change the color, and I think I actually have to change it by clicking on this one up here. It's unfortunate, but yes, I might have to change it from the blue to maybe white or something like that. I don't know why it won't give me that option. Now alternatively, I could try to change it that way, so that way it's all at the top, and that actually doesn't look bad. So let's say I go ahead and swipe down now. That's pretty much what that's going to look like. Let's see what that looks like overall. I may change this, but we'll see. And by clicking out and then clicking back in, this is what that looks like now. And it definitely looks clean when it's always on display mode. And then before it dims out, and then once I kick it back in. Now, actually, this might be due to maybe night mode, why the lettering is not blue and it's white. But this wallpaper should do a better job of photo ambient AI with Galaxy AI, I should say, to use that photo ambient ability to then operate this. And as you see, it actually really dimmed because it's night mode. So that's what I'm actually noticing here. So maybe this is the ambient taking place already. So this is my lock screen here. Largely nothing changed until the recording of this video, as you guys see live here. Now, if we actually want to come inside to the wallpaper, actually let me back out. As you see down there, I have my night mode running. Night mode has some automations that will already take effect for me, so that way I don't have to do it. Well, how do you do that? Well, let's go ahead, back out here, jump back in here. Let's go into settings. And once we jump into settings, we're going to go in here to modes and routines. And here's where a lot of my modes are. And so I have my sleep mode, which activates a lot of my sleep-based stuff. Do not disturbs, vibrates, or vibration and silent modes, and really curtails the phone for alarm clocks, all that type of stuff. Now, this I change every day based off when I have to wake up. I don't have anything necessarily set because my work schedule constantly changes. So I'm always changing this before I actually go to sleep. And I also change it to be as accurate as possible to around the time I'm going to sleep, pretty much between 5 and 10 minutes. So if I click on sleep to show you guys, as you see here, it turns on automatically. between the times that I'm usually going to be asleep. Now, I had a short sleep session this morning, had a quick turnaround for work, and that's so I could actually have time and actually enjoy the Super Bowl, even though the Chiefs lost, unfortunately. But Patty Mahomes will be back there next year. And then here are the actions. So do not disturb turns on, always display turns off, eye comfort shield comes on for about at about 30% threshold, and then these actions all turn off as well, such as my watch always on display turns off, my razor wrist to awake turns off, and disconnection alerts turn off as well. And then I have some wallpaper appearances that change for the lock screen and the home screen. Now, I don't have one for my watch. I think I was thinking about one doing for my watch, and it doesn't hurt to actually select one. And it would probably be a darker wallpaper because why not? Maybe even something more digital because, again, let's just make it super simple for me to have to read my information at night when I'm trying to actually go or before going to sleep. So I might even do something like analog utility because I also like that, or I might do something simple like Intrepid. Now this is the most black, so maybe if I choose this one, my wallpaper would change to that. And so forget the digital idea. I just went with something a little bit more, AMOLED based, darker. I can read the time still, so it doesn't hurt. But that's my layout now for my sleep mode. And so once I come out, you're gonna see, well, it won't activate yet, and I actually can change that live on here as well because I'll be going to sleep at probably around 12 again. But I'm going to raise this to about 8:30 and make sure I get my sleep, my appropriate sleep. So it gives me about 8 hours and 20 minutes to try to sleep, and of that I may actually sleep, 7 hours. But you see, you have other additional options in there as well, and you have sleeping conditions. So if I hit plus, this will, if you're wearing a watch, band, or ring, it's used to detect when you're sleeping. If you're not wearing one, your phone is used instead. And so that I didn't even realize, but I toggle that on because I am wearing my watch when I go to sleep. And shout out to that beautiful, very light titanium band from Robust Goods because it is very light. I forget my watch is on my wrist. It's just a little bigger because my wrist is small. And so this is my sleep mode. Now you see I have a theater mode when I'm at the theater, but that's something I may actually more manually turn on because unless I select a location of a theater I'm at and put in here, it's kind of hard to keep this one set unless it kind of knows that's where I'm at. And so maybe Galaxy Eye will help with that. Driving, don't really use. I think automatically with Android Auto, it kind of sort of uses that driving mode. Exercise mode, again, I don't use that. I just, when I'm at the gym, I use it. Now, I could actually activate this mode if I wanted to because I go to the gym so frequently. I could actually activate this, so maybe I'll do that off camera. I have my relax mode, which is what my phone's usually in. I have work, but because I work at different locations, it doesn't make sense for me to use that right now. I have my Christian meeting mode, which turns my phone to do not disturb and stuff like that when I'm at my meeting location. And then for now, I have my night mode, which is on, which does a few other things before sleep kicks in. And as you see here, sunset into sunrise, and really all this does is change some wallpapers. And so this just helps dim my phone light down so that way it gets my eyes ready to go to sleep. And so for those reasons, that's why when we come out, you'll see that's what my background looks like because we're in night mode right now. Now, one of the things I also want to talk about here is routines. And I have two specifically set up. And shout out to one of my viewers on one of my videos not that long ago. I think it may have even been one of my watch videos. I forgot your name. Maybe I'll remember to comment, or you can comment on this video, so that way you get, people know who I'm talking about. But he gave me this idea with my watch always on display. So via routines, I can actually have my watch AOD turn on and off depending on my location. At my home, I have my location set and I have it connected to my watch. And this is what's going to happen with always on display. It's going to turn off and turn off disconnection alerts. And then when my routine ends, it will go back to always display on and turn my disconnection alerts back on. So the reason why that's important is because when I leave the home, that's when I want my watch to be more of a watch. When I'm at home, it's not a big deal. I got my phone with me. I'm watching TV or whatever. So I don't really need time to be showing on my watch, and that's a way for me to save battery life on my Galaxy Watch Ultra. And so that's why this is a great routine to set up for you guys if you want to do that yourself as well, so that way you can eke out that much more battery life for your Galaxy Watch. And then I have one for my Galaxy Buds 3 Pro, and this is pertaining to when I'm at the gym. And so let me come in here so that way I can show you guys, because here when my buds connect and I'm at my location, which is the Crunch Fitness that's near me, noise controls will activate and it will automatically turn on my ANC, or my active noise cancellation. And then when the routine ends, it will go right back to adaptive. One of the things I realized is when you manually toggle off of adaptive to noise cancellation or ambient sound, it will never toggle back to adaptive. It will only toggle between those two. And so that's just like a lot of many little steps that I have to do manually on my own. Or a lot of times what I'll do is I'll use my watch, and as soon as I sign into my watch here, you'll see I actually just took it off the charger. So once the operating system actually boots up, I'll show you. This is what I also do when I show up to the gym, is I'll swipe on over to my Galaxy Buds 3 Pro widget, and then I will select adaptive from there. So it's a lot easier to do it from the watch than from the phone sometimes, because you have to go to the wearable app, then go to the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro manager app, and then select your mode. Whereas right there on the wrist, I can just toggle which one I want. But now it's that much easier with this routine setup for the watch and for the buds, so that way I don't have to do that much. It already knows based off where I'm at for it to activate and do it for me, and that's something I don't have to do. So that's something that I actually look forward to really using more and more often. I love using it here because, as you see, my always on display is off, and that's because of that routine. And so those are the two main things that minimized my hands-on activity and simplified my setup, so that way I can hide apps and kind of focus on what I need, which is what's going on here on the home screen. And so what I do is I use Samsung's calendar widgets here. So I use a full calendar widget here, which outlines my activities for the day. And then if I wanted to actually get a little more granular, I can come in here and actually scroll through here to see what's going on a day-to-day basis. And so that's what I like there, is that I have two calendar widgets I use at the top to give me my most important information. I have my weather here, and I have two different weather widgets just depending on how I feel. And then I have my clock widget, which adapts to the time of day. So when it's, earlier in the day, it's white, or I think even like a burnt white, if you will, and then it turns to dark black when it's at nighttime. And then I have my rings that I can close in my Samsung Health app to let me know how much more progress I need to make in order to close those rings. And then I have a Google widget, which is from KWGT Pro. And if you guys are interested, just comment down below and I'll let you know, because I don't know this one off the top of my head. But if I swipe, I have the Google bar as well that I could use, and I can actually just have right there if I wanted to do it that way. And then I have another widget, time weather widget, just in case I want to use that instead of those. And then I have another Google widget, which is KWGT Pro, and another KWGT Pro widget for my music player, just in case I want to use that instead. And then again, another Google / clock widget from KWGT Pro right there. Now, if you watch some of my previous videos, I've outlined those widgets that I use in particular. But if you actually want to know those widgets, just comment down in the comment section below and I'll get to you. And that's what simplified my layout here on my home screen. So that way I just have to have the phone app and the Messenger app. Now, I do still use Google Discovery. And then if we swipe on over here, I still have Apple Music, my device care widget, and my battery widget letting me know what's going on with my devices that are connected to my phone. And that's pretty much it. The apps that I use are all in my Edge panel. And so apps that I use the most are right here in the Edge panel. And then when I'm unfolded, I have a saved shortcut for two apps that I would normally use, which is my Internet Explorer and my Gallery app. And the reason, messages. I'm a little surprised I actually have my messages there, but it was actually supposed to be my Gallery app, so I actually have to tweak that. So let me go ahead and show you guys how I can do that. So if I swipe, no, I did not, what? I did not say to do that. Let's bring up Gallery, bring it up here, and then click in the middle. And then what I can do is hit the star here on the right, and then I can actually save it to my app edge panel. And so now it's saved in my app edge panel down at the bottom. So now when I swipe out and actually swipe into my panel and click it, it's going to bring them right back up. The reason why I do it this way is because oftentimes I'll get my work schedules, and so I'll screenshot them so that way I can share them with my managers. I click on it, I have my schedule pulled up here, and then I have my calendar pulled up here. And while I'm in the calendar, I can come in here and actually swipe through and add my days of work that I need to my schedule, just as simple and plain as that. So this setup allows me to be more productive while still maintaining minimalism with my setup. Now, in terms of the inside, my wallpapers match the inside and out, but that's it. I still have not largely changed this. I think what I need to do here is actually on camera add the other calendar widget. So once we find it here, click it. Oh, that's the only widget that they will allow me to have there. Interesting. So I didn't know that. So maybe having more space would allow me to use a larger widget. I don't know. But I like what I have going on here. So this largely won't change. I still have my apps available for me to click and choose on here in this tablet form, if you will. My clock up here, my forecast for weather, and then my Google widget right here, which also doubles as a music player widget. And so that's my setup on the inside. Largely this hasn't changed, just the wallpaper, and I'm glad that I maintained it this way because it allows me to still gain access to apps that I want to at the press of a button without having to rely on the edge panel when I have more screen real estate to work with here on my Galaxy Z Fold 6. So hopefully you guys appreciate this video. This is my minimalistic setup for my devices, and hopefully you guys have found something useful for you guys to use for your phones, because in this day and age, let's find ways to not have to be so hands-on with our phones, and Samsung gives us those abilities with modes and routines. So let me know down in the comment section below again what's going on with your phone. Do you customize often? Do you have a minimalistic setup, or do you have a lot going on your setup? The comment section is open for discussion. Again, as always, if you guys haven't already, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. That's why it's all free. That way you know some videos, so you and I can sit back, check, see who's cracking. And don't forget to hit that super things button down there by the like and dislike button, Cash App and PayPal, and check the channel out for all the videos available to you. That's way to keep tech fresh and alive on this channel. It's man Micah signing out, and until the next video, one day I'm going to talk about these cameras again. Wait for it.